Welcome everyone to our level 1 ChimeraFit class. Today's going to be a full body workout with a little bit of extra attention to those movements that people consistently tell me are their favorites. So some of those feel good movements that help us feel more connected to our body, less stiff, more stable, and all of those wonderful things that we get from those feel good, great movements. So like usual, we'll use some props. We'll use a foam roller today because that's always at the top of a lot of favorite things. We'll use that towards the end, so you may want to have that nearby. If you don't have a foam roller, rolled up towel will work just fine. We'll use some bands, long and loop band, Pilates ball, and some free weights if you're ready to add some resistance. Otherwise, your body weight will work just fine, and maybe a towel or a pillow for a couple of foam roller things as we get to it. And then once you've got yourself situated, we'll get right to business. We're going to start just where we're at in sitting. Maybe to mix things up, if you like, you can try your other foot in front compared to what's your typical one. We're going to check in with your breath, bringing hands to prayer position right in front of your chest. And just sitting nice and tall, we're going to take a nice deep breath in, Robin's breath, letting your lungs fill with air in all directions. Then on your exhale, we're going to tip your fingertips forward around the upper back as you reach ahead. And then on your inhale, we'll open the arms up like a big letter T, looking to the sky, extend the fingers back, and then exhale, rounding as we press forward, bringing your arms back in front. Inhale as we reach up to the sky, straight up overhead, and then exhale, hands back to prayer. Nice. Inhale, puffing up the chest just a bit, sitting tall. Exhale, keep that length as you press your fingers forward and round. Inhale, open up like a T, maybe looking up a bit. Fingers can extend behind you slightly. Exhale, rounding and reaching forward again. Inhale as you reach up straight toward the sky, fingers together if you can. Otherwise, just reaching up is good, and then hands back to prayer. Inhale, exhale, reaching ahead as we round. You can imagine the air is a little thick. Inhale, open up to a T, looking up to the sky. So get a little extra activation of your muscles, reaching forward, fingers straight ahead as you round. Inhale, coming up to the ceiling. With the fingers, exhale, hands back to prayer. And then one more time. Inhale, sitting tall. Exhale, fingers dive forward, keeping that spine nice and long. Inhale, open up. And exhale, reaching ahead as you round. Inhale, reaching to the sky, sitting tall. And then exhale, we'll bring your hands back to prayer. Very good. And then we're going to uncross the legs, bring your left leg behind you in a 90-ish position. So we've got weight on more on that right hip. Right hand's going to reach to the floor. We'll thread the needle, pressing into the floor just a bit. So you have some activity in your shoulder blade and in your upper back. We'll reach the left arm up to the sky as we rotate your spine, looking up toward your fingertips. And then exhale, reach your hand underneath that right arm. Can lean forward a bit so your ear comes down toward the floor, and then inhale as you come back up. No need to actually hit the floor. We're just inhale, rotating up, exhale, rotating down, getting a nice full line of movement through the back half of the body and the hips. Inhale as we reach up. Feel free to go at your own pace here to coordinate with your breath, although you may want to challenge yourself to go just a little slower than kind of our natural tendency to just kind of whip ourselves through and get things done. Inhale as we reach. Exhale, getting some nice movement to that fascia through the back half of the body and across from the opposite shoulder blade to the hip. We'll do one more on this side. Inhale. And exhale. We reach down. Perfect. Once you come back up, we'll switch sides. So left leg is in front, right leg is back. Left hand comes to the floor in a spiral, starting the movement from your rib cage first. Inhale to look up toward that right hand, and then exhale, twisting through. A little bit of movement here. Combo hip, shoulders, ribs, spine. Inhale, exhale, reach. Bringing a little bit of awareness to that middle part of the range, so it's not so critical that we get like a deep stretch with this. It's more about getting this dynamic movement from one position to the next, getting some fluid into all of our tissues. And one more time. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, twisting. Perfect. Once we come back to the center, we're going to swing your legs around and then come up to a half kneel position. So take a moment to get there if you need to. Pillow under the knee if you'd like. We're going to have left knee behind you, right leg in front. All 5 toes pointing pretty much forward. We're going to tuck the tailbone down just a bit so that we get a little bit of a lengthening in the hip flexor as you start to lean forward. So without changing the position of your pelvis relative to the ribs, and then press the heel to the ground to come back. Staying nice and tall in the upper back, going to a little partial lunge, keeping our back long so we're not hyperextending in the back. Tailbone will tuck down just a tiny bit. And then 2 more lunging forward. You can go hands in front or hands on your hips. Just find a comfortable spot for your hands. One more time, then we're going to pause when you get to that end point. Right hand to hip and left arm up to the sky. Little hip flexor lengthening here, reaching the left arm over to the right side of the body, keeping that right foot active into the floor, and then we'll come back. Now, you're going to pivot just a little bit. Bring your foot at an angle, so you see me from the front. We're going to step your foot to the side. So at a comfortable angle sideways, so maybe directly to the side or slightly in front, just so we get a little bit of inner thigh work here. We're tucking that tail underneath just a bit. And again, oh, hi, Dio. You're going to be a good boy. We'll lunge. And then back. Oh, okay, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. We're gonna lunge down. Nice. And up we go. 2 more knee points. Now straight at that second toe. And then on our last one, keeping that little connection ribs to pelvis, we're gonna come down and then reach your right hand down toward the ground as your left arm comes up. So a little bit of a twisted lunge. Option to use support from your hands on the ground, but try not to use too much help from the hand, and then we'll unwind to come back up and switch sides. So we're going to have right knee behind you, left leg in front, a little bit of tuck the tailbone, and then just do like easy lunge forward and back. Muscles active throughout the hips the whole time, so we're not just plopping and dumping into our joints. Got a nice little support of the hips from all angles here. Lean forward, chest lifted tall. And then on your next one, keeping that little tuck of the tailbone down, we'll reach left hand to hip, right arm up to the sky, and then reach the right arm over to that left side. Pause, 2 rounds of breath. Come back up to the center. Good, and then we're gonna take that foot out to the side. So at a comfortable angle, just have that little bit of tuck of the tailbone, ribs stacked over pelvis as we lunge sideways. And back up. Should start to feel a little bit of inner thigh work, a little bit of lengthening as we're using that inner thigh muscle to hold yourself up and come back. Nice. 2 more. Chest lifted nice and tall. We got it. And then one more time as we come down, we'll pause into that little lunge. Reach your left hand down as the right arm reaches up. Option to look down at the floor. If there's any neck issues, there we go. Or more challenge for the neck by looking up. The hand can help a bit on that left toward the floor, but try not to use it too much to let your leg do some of the work. Nice job. Then we're going to come out of that. Bring your knees back down together, hands on the ground into a hands and knees position. Hi, Dio. I know. No. He wants to interrupt. He wants to say hi. All right, we're going to turn the toes under and then hips up to down dog. So pushing the floor away, press 1 heel at a time. Walk out your dog a bit here. Little bit of extra help from the arms. Shoulder blades come up just like this tiniest little bit toward the ears. Not a like massive shrug, but just enough that those shoulder blades are active. And then we're going to let the heels to reach toward the floor. We're going to take the right hand and then reach across. Right hand toward left knee, shin, or ankle. Take a breath, unwind, bring that right hand down, and then switch left hand to the right knee, shin, or ankle. And then step that hand back one more time, right hand to left. Getting a little bit easy twist through that upper back, back to center, left hand to right. Nice strong arm holding you into the floor like you're holding the mat down, but not letting it fly away. We'll come back to the center, walk the feet up to a forward fold. In your forward fold, we'll do a couple little easy knee bends, just kind of easing in and out of a knee bent position. Knees a little straighter, a little active, lengthening of the back half of the body. So just kind of exploring what your mobility feels like today in the hips and the knees with a couple more little knee bends. Maybe wiggle the toes a little bit. See if you can give each toe a little bit of space so they're not so smushed up on each other. Let the toes be free. And then on the next one, once we come up to our forward fold, we'll take a full round of breath, expanding the ribs. All directions, then stand strong into the feet to roll up. Inhale, reaching up with a little bit of a back bend. Exhale, we'll bring the hands back to prayer. We're going to soften the knees, reach up straight to the sky, and then open up to the left, twisting to turn to the left. So feet forward, upper body, just a gentle rotation. Ribs right up over the pelvis, standing nice and tall in this twisted position. And inhale, bring the arms up together, inner thighs squeeze together slightly, and then rotate to the right, opening the arms to the side. Nice. Inhale, come up to the center. Option to stay there on 2 feet or make it a little more challenging. Shift the weight into 1 foot, lift the left knee, or stay on 2 feet. Then open up the arms to the side as we twist toward that front leg. 2 rounds of breath. Then we'll bring the arms up with the ears. Pause for a moment, extend the leg, toes to the sky, give that calf a little stretch. Before we set that foot down, we can rest the arms, give the shoulders a little wiggle, and a couple shoulder rolls. And then we'll inhale, reaching up again. Option then to switch sides, so either weight on 2 feet or lift the right and open toward that right side, balancing on 1 foot. 2 rounds of breath here. And then we'll come back to the center. Arms will reach back up to the sky. Reach the leg out, toes up. Chest lifted, nice long upper back before we set down that opposite foot. Nice, so forward fold. Inhale, we'll lift up to a flat back, palms resting on the shins. Exhale, forward fold, and then step back to a plank. Option to go down to the knees or onto the forearms. Whatever version of plank works for you today. Pause. 2 full rounds of breath in your plank. And then we're going to meet in a down dog. Option to vinyasa, chest to the floor, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, up dog, gentle activation of the back extensors, then exhale, down dog. Little bend of the knees, gentle push of the arms as we step forward, forward fold. Toes get a little wiggle, roll up to stand. Inhale, reaching up, and then exhale, hands back to prayer. Nice. And then we're going to move into a couple of lunges. So we're going to step back with your left foot, right leg in front. First, no extra weight. We'll warm it up, and then option to add some resistance if you want to add free weights to it. But let's just start with the right leg in front, left leg in back. Hands either in front or on your hips. Both knees will bend as we slowly lower down into a little bit of a lunge and straight back up. Nice. So we're going to lower down, just keeping it in a comfortable range down, both hips and knees, and up we go. 2. Good. A lunge can be partial lunge, can be full. Pelvis is going straight down to the ground. One more time. Knees forward over second, third toe. And then up we go. We got it. We'll step your feet together and switch. Left leg in front, right leg in back. Option to hold on if you need a little support for balance. And we're going to lunge down and back up we go. Nice. Not too fast. Taking your time. Let's go to a depth that feels comfortable. 2 more. Inhale on the way down. Press through the heel to lift yourself back up. And 1 more time. Down we go. And back up. Nice. We'll step your feet together. Inhale, reach up. A little bit of a back bend. Exhale, hands to prayer. Take a moment, arms resting by your side. Just standing in mountain, nice and tall. Finding the connection of your feet to your mat. Check back in with your breath. Perfect. And then we're going to come back to our lunge again. Now this time, option continue body weight version, or if you'd like to add some resistance, we're going to grab some free weights, just holding right by your side. Same form, nothing else changes. Right leg in front, left leg in back. Find your balance. Then we're going to lower both, or bend both knees as you lower down and back up. We're going to stay on the same side. 1. Good. Do as close to 10 as you feel like you got in you today. 2, option to just do a few. Take a break and meet us up. 3, do what feels right. 4, press through that heel on the way up. 5, good. Back leg is helping. It's not doing the majority of the work, but it's definitely helping. 6. Shoulders anchored onto your ribs. 7. 8, still breathing. 2 more. 9, and that is 10. Perfect. Switch sides. Step up, left leg in front, right leg in back, lower down, both knees bend together, and back up we go. You can experiment a little bit with your trunk position here, by the way, too. The further you lean forward, the more you're going to feel this in your glutes. So depending on your goal, or if we keep your trunk really vertical, you'll feel a little more work in the thigh, the front of the thigh, the quad. 5. I always feel like my glutes need extra work, so I tend to bias toward leaning forward a little bit, but you can modify. What's right for you? 3 more. 8. Last 2. Last 1. We got it. I'm going to step those feet together. You can set your weights down. If you've got weights, take a little breather. Maybe interlace your fingers. We're going to give the hands a little wave. So with fingers interlaced, make a nice waving movement through the wrists, elbows, and then wave the other way. Again, not necessarily needing to find a big stretch, but just allowing wrists, fingers to move this nice fluid way. And then we'll give the arms a little bit of a wiggle and a shake. And then if we've got a long band, that's our next thing that we're gonna grab. Band right in front of the shoulders, palms down, a little bit of a knee bend, and we're just gonna go a straight pull apart. So palms down and shoulder blades come together as we open up, bringing the band toward your chest, and then slowly bringing it back. Nice. I'm gonna keep the chest nice and open, so we get a little work with the shoulder blades. Nice, and come back. Continue to stay standing up, or option to make it a little more challenging by adding a hip hinge. So neutral spine, hips go straight back, heels anchored down. So we pull, wrist nice and straight, and then forward we go. Pull back and pause, and back, and 3 more. Back, and last 2. Working the back half of the body, shoulder blades. One more time, we're gonna pause and hold that last one for 5, 4, 3, you got it. 2, 1, and then up we go. Perfect. We're gonna let the band, let the band come down. We're gonna reach right hand toward the right knee. Left arm reaches up, nice elongation on that whole left side of the body. Inhale. Exhale, coming down. Left hand comes down, right arm reaches up. Back to the center one more time, right hand down, left arm up. And as we reach over to the side, see if we can create a little bit of length, ribs to pelvis, so they're as far from each other as you can make it. And one more time. So as you're bending toward the left, I still have this like lift of your pelvis or ribs away from your pelvis, creating that length in the lower body, and then down we go. Perfect. Then we're gonna grab our weights one more time if you're using weights, and then instead of a lunge, we're gonna make it a squat. So just with weights straight by your side, feet right underneath the hips, toes ahead, and again, option to just do body weight. Squat here, we're gonna squat down, and then right back up. 1, and down. Hips and knees bend together. 2, 3, nice, inhale, exhale on the way up. 4, squat down and up. 5, good. You want to notice all 10 toes helping you out here a little bit. 6, arch of the foot has the tiniest little lift. 7, as close to 10 as you Feel ready for today. 8. Knees forward. 9. And one more time makes it 10. Perfect. Then we're going to hinge forward and then make this a row. So hands under the shoulders, elbows come up, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and down we go. 1, 2, exhale. 3 on the lift. 4, neutral spine. 5, 6, 7, weights come up toward mid-waist. 8, not toward your shoulders. 9, and one more time. That's 10. And then we come up. Perfect job. We'll let the weights down. Take a little breather here. Find the back half of the mat. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, forward, fold down. We're going to walk your hands back to a plank. Pause. 2 full rounds of breath. And then we're going to lower the chest down. Knees first if you need. Chaturanga. Inhale, a little bit of a cobra. And if back bend's feeling good, go ahead, lower back down. We'll do a couple extra cobras. Inhale, back extends. Using your back muscles, hands help just a bit. Inhale on the way up. And exhale, gently lowering back down. So it doesn't have to be this big, massive movement. In fact, maybe reining it in just a little bit so that we get some extension, but not forcing it into any like excessive amount of movement. Up we go. Elbows pulled in just a bit toward the midline. Once we come to the top, we're going to pause. Think about pushing into the floor just a bit. Pelvis lifts up slightly. Turn, look over your left shoulder, adding a little rotation to it. Back to the center we go. Turn to look over the right shoulder. Come back to the center. And then we're going to press up. Stretch the other way in a child's pose. Toes together, knees apart. Forehead rests on the floor. Give yourself enough room for your ribs to expand. And then on your next breath, we can come up to sit, swing the legs around, and then turn to lay on your back. We're going to grab Pilates ball if you've got it, just to have something for a little bit of inner thigh activation. So the ball between knees, or a little more advanced, we can go ball between ankles for the 100. So you've got your head resting on the floor, tailbone anchored down. Take a nice full breath in. The ribs expand all directions. Then on your exhale, little tuck of the chin, curl up, crunch, and pulse the arms down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3. Option to extend the knees for more challenge. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4. 2, or continue bend. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's 5, 2, 3. You can rest the head down if you need to, if the neck gets fatigued. 6, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, or hand behind the head is another option. 7, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2. Nice long arms. 9, 2, 3, 4, 5. The only thing moving is your arms. And 10, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Pause. And then rest. You can bring knees to chest. Leave the ball off to the side here for a moment. Take a moment. Give your knees a little hug. And then we're going to rock yourself all the way up to sitting. Give yourself a couple of rocks to get there. So just a nice kind of fun, playful roll on the back toward the shoulder blades and then back up. If you can, maybe challenge yourself to see if we can balance without your toes hitting the ground. Otherwise, just allow yourself a little back massage there. And then our last one, we'll finish sitting. Extend the legs along the mat. Reach your arms forward, sitting up nice and tall. We're going to flex the toes, round the upper back, and then roll down one vertebrae at a time. Option to hold on to one knee to help yourself out here on the way down. Inhale, reach up overhead, roll up, tuck the chin, peel yourself up, and again, option to use help from your hand to lift up. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, round it down, one vertebrae at a time. Inhale, ribs anchored down as you reach up. Exhale, curl up, and again, it can be partial. Curl up, or you can use your leg to help. Inhale, reach, and exhale slowly. One vertebra at a time. Nice. Inhale. 2 more. Curl yourself up. Inhale, reaching forward past the toes without holding the toes. Slowly roll it down. And one more time. Curl it up. Inhale to reach. Exhale, taking your time, a little extra slow on the way down. Once we're on the floor, we're going to extend the right leg up to the sky, left leg glued down. Option to bend your knee for more support if you want your foot on the ground. Single leg circle. We're going to start small, circling that right leg around. Right over the center of the hip joint. Collarbones nice and wide. Exhale, each time the leg comes up toward your face. 2 more. This direction, pause at 12 o'clock, and then reverse the direction of your circle. I'm going to hold the last one here, toes to nose. Give that whole back of the thigh a little stretch. Nice. We're going to set that side down, right foot down, left leg comes up. Option for calf on the ground or foot. Circle the left leg down and around. Nice exhale. Each time we come up. And 3, pelvis steady on the floor. Right rib cage glued down to the ground, and then reverse the direction. Nice wide collarbones. And 3 more. 2. The intentional hold it there. Toes to nose. Reach your heel up to the sky, nice and strong. And then we're going to hug both knees into the chest. I'm going to rock all the way up to sit. Extend the legs on the mat for the saw. So feet a little wider than hip width apart. Arms straight to the side, palms down, sitting anchored onto those sitting bones. We're going to rotate toward the right and then reach left hand toward right pinky toe. 1, 2, 3 times. Inhale, sitting up nice and tall, and then reach over to the other side for left for 1, 2, 3 exhales. Inhale, really nice nerve gliding movement happening here to the right 2. 3, that whole posterior line of fascia gets a nice elongation here to the left. 1, 2, 3, and up we go. We don't have to bounce. It's more of a kind of controlled reach. 1, 2, sitting bones anchored onto the ground, and then to the left. For 1, 2, 3 exhales. One more time. Sit up nice and tall in between each one. Turn to the right. Maybe look at that back hand for a full spine rotation. Control back to the center, and then reach across one more time to the left toes. 2, 3. Nice. We're going to sit up nice and tall in the center. Bring your hands down, sitting in a staff pose. So legs straight ahead, chest open, like you're standing on an imaginary wall right in front of you. Crown of the head reaching toward the sky, heels reaching out in front. Allow your ribs some space to breathe. And then we can relax out of that. If you've then got foam roller or towel roll, this is your chance for this. We're going to bring the foam roller right along your back, and we're going to do a little gentle extension. So finding midpoint of the back, if you have a kind of a sense of which area might feel a little bit stiffer, there's kind of use your intuition there to find which part of your rib cage needs a little attention, and then supporting the head and the hand. We're going to inhale as we extend back. Then exhale as we come up. So not really forcing it, just going, kind of testing out the waters at first, just noticing what it feels like. Inhale. And then exhale. Good. Elbow position you can play with, again, two either fingers, elbows to the sky or out to the side. I just caution against them being way out to the side. We don't want this to be like this an intense shoulder stretch. It's more of a just gentle, active mobility through that mid-back. If you feel like you chose a spot that isn't quite the spot that you need, you can make a little adjustment. The roll, find a little spot slightly higher, slightly lower on your rib cage, like, ooh, my lower ribs feel like they need a little more work today. About 2 more at whichever area you feel that needed this extra extension mobility. lift the hips up. And if you have a foam roller, we're going to massage the muscles along the back by rolling along the spine. If you just have a towel roll, just continue a couple more rounds of extension. Just giving all those big extensors a nice bit of sensory input, nice little massage, get the blood flow, movement of the lymph, all sorts of good stuff happening, hydrating the fascia and all those little nooks and crannies of the spine. And then we're going to set yourself back down to the ground. Move your foam roller out of the way, and then find a Shavasana resting pose, either flat on your back or any other comfortable position that you'd prefer to finish with. We're going to close the eyes. Check in with your breath. Take a moment here. With a little bit of a body scan, maybe noticing if there's any areas of tension or guarding, bracing in the face and the jaw, shoulders, really anywhere, pelvic floor even, low back. Each exhale is then an opportunity to let some of that extra tension go. So now that we're supported on the floor, there's nothing else we need those muscles to help with. Can let some of that extra tension go. Start to notice the breath. Just notice where you feel it in your body. Maybe notice how it changes now that we've taken a moment to pause. Just creating the space to allow the breath to completely fill up the center of your body, your belly, the back, the pelvis. Breathing in a nice 360-degree, all direction fashion. And keeping that nice softness with you, we'll start to reintroduce a little bit of movement of the toes and the fingers. And turn to your side. Pause here for just a moment. Readjusting to that change. And then when you're ready, you can return back up to sit. And then we'll wake ourselves back up with a nice reach up to the sky inhale. Exhale, hands to prayer, and close your eyes for just another moment, giving yourself some gratitude for having some time on the mat today and for all the movements that you were able to do. Namaste. All right. Thanks so much for joining me, everyone. Hope to see you another time soon.